All right, are you ready for some wrestling drama?
Oh, always.
Today's deep dive, it's all about Naomi
Oh, okay.
and Jade Cargill.
Right.
And really, it's how this rivalry, well, it's led to kind of a transformation for Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
And it has everyone talking. Our source for this one is, well, let's just say a pretty energetic YouTube video. Think like lots of yelling and dramatic zooms and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we'll try to cut through all that and give you the good stuff here.
Sounds good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what makes this rivalry so interesting?
Well, I think what's really cool about it is how it uses these like classic wrestling tropes,
Right.
but it like puts a new spin on them. You know, pro wrestling like lives and breathes on these big conflicts.
Yeah.
Like these personalities clashing in these high stakes battles. Think about Stone Cold Steve Austin going up against Vince McMahon, or even like those epic showdowns that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair had.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it goes beyond just like winning and losing. It's about the story those matches tell.
Absolutely. And our source sets the stage with our two main players here.
Okay.
Naomi.
Right.
Huge fan favorite, known for just her incredible athleticism.
Yeah.
You know, her return to the WWE after taking some time off had everybody so excited.
Right.
Then on the other side, you have Jade Cargill, who has just been on a tear, dominating everybody she goes up against. She's presented as this like powerhouse, physically, mentally, just like radiating confidence, almost to the point of maybe like arrogance.
Oh, that's interesting. And you know that confidence.
Yeah.
That possible arrogance.
Yeah.
It really plays a big part in how this whole thing goes down. It's not just, you know, the classic returning hero versus the champ.
Right.
I mean, that's there.
Right.
But it's also about how their styles clash, how their personalities clash.
Right.
You know, maybe even almost like eras clashing.
Yeah.
You know, Naomi has the experience.
Yeah.
Jade has this almost like raw power.
Yeah. Like an unstoppable force.
Yeah, exactly.
And that clash of styles, it made their match just electric. Like, you know, the source was describing it as this back and forth, this action. You know the crowd is totally into it.
Yeah.
Both women are holding their own. But Jade starts to get the upper hand.
Okay.
It's looking like she's going to win, like she's on the verge of victory. And you know how in these classic rivalries, there's always a moment, like a turning point that changes everything.
Totally. And I think it's Jade's confidence, you know, that unshakable belief in herself that makes what happens next so crazy.
Yeah, because suddenly after Jade hits this brutal move, it looks like it's over. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
Naomi snaps.
Whoa.
And I mean, like, capital SNAPS, snaps.
Right.
It's not just like she's fighting back or retaliating. It's like this brutal, unhinged attack.
Right.
The source even describes it as not just an attack, an expression of pent-up emotions. Like something in Naomi just broke.
Wow. You know, I think the source really got it right with that pent-up emotions line.
Yeah.
Because it really makes you think, this wasn't just like a reaction to that move.
Right.
You know, this was something deeper.
Yeah.
Something that had been building up.
Right.
Inside Naomi.
Yeah.
Maybe even way before this whole rivalry thing started.
So it's not just about her trying to get back to the top.
Right.
It's something, it's like more personal, more like raw.
Yeah, that's a good point. So like, was there some frustration there? Like, had she been underestimated?
Yeah.
Is that what set this off? Or is this something totally new?
Right.
Like a darker side to Naomi that we haven't seen before?
Which completely changes how we see her.
Yeah.
Right. She's not just that underdog fighting her way back.
Yeah.
Now she's got this edge.
Right.
This like unpredictable side to her.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so interesting. Like, it makes you question everything you thought you knew about Naomi.
Yeah.
And it creates this feeling of danger.
Yeah.
This anything could happen vibe. It's just so compelling.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, this isn't like some made up show.
Right.
Naomi's actions, they have real consequences.
Yeah.
The source said Jade is actually hurt.
Oh, wow.
Because of what happened in the match.
Yeah.
Which really throws everything up in the air.
So this isn't just like some story they're telling. It really affects things.
Yeah.
It has a real impact on their careers, on everybody else in the division.
For sure.
It makes you think like, how's Jade going to come back from this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, will this make her want to prove herself even more?
You're right.
To like get back on top?
Right.
Or will this like shake her confidence?
Yeah.
Show that she's not as tough as we thought?
And what about the fans?
Yeah, the source said social media just blew up after this.
It's like everybody's picking sides.
Yeah.
You got people worried about Jade.
Right.
People who were totally shocked by Naomi. And then you got people who are like praising her, saying she's finally showing everybody what she can do.
Interesting.
It's like, are we seeing her turn into like an anti-hero?
Oh, maybe.
Someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to get to the top?
To get what she wants. It's really amazing how one thing can cause so many different reactions.
All right.
But that's what makes a good story, right? It gets people talking and arguing.
Yeah.
And in the end, it makes them want to see what happens next.
But is this enough to make it one of those legendary rivalries?
That's the question.
I mean, the source compared it to some pretty big names.
Yeah.
They even mentioned Stone Cold and Vince McMahon.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I see why they would say that.
Yeah.
You got the clashing personalities.
Right.
The crazy stuff that happened. The fact that it's affecting their real lives.
Right.
But those rivalries, they usually last for years.
Right.
You know, it's not just one thing.
Yeah.
They have all these different parts.
Yeah.
And they totally change how wrestling works.
So do you think that Naomi and Jade could get to that level?
Well, it's hard to say right now.
Yeah.
It's still early.
Right.
But they've definitely, like, set the stage for something big.
Okay.
Think about those legendary rivalries. They usually start with something small.
Right.
Some little thing that gets everyone's attention.
Okay. Yeah.
And throws everything into chaos.
Okay.
That attack was like that little thing.
Right.
It started a fire.
Yeah.
That could burn for a long time.
So what should we be looking for as this story goes on?
Well, how does each wrestler change?
Okay.
Does Jade come back tougher, wanting revenge?
Yeah.
Or does this, make her more careful, make her realize she's not perfect?
And what about Naomi? Does she go all in on this new aggression?
Right. Like, does she cross the line?
Yeah.
Does she become the bad guy?
Yeah.
Or can she, find a way back?
Right.
And maybe the most important thing.
Yeah.
How does this affect all the other women wrestlers?
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Do they get involved?
Right.
Do they have to pick sides?
Yeah.
Does this make everyone step up their game?
Like throwing a stone in a pond.
Exactly.
The ripples go everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like this whole thing could really change women's wrestling.
That's what makes it so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's not just matches.
Right.
We're seeing a story happen.
Yeah.
With real people, real feelings.
Yeah.
And real things happening because of it.
We've talked a lot about what happened.
Yeah.
What people are saying,
right.
What might happen next.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, why do you think this is so interesting to fans?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. What is it about Naomi and Jade that's got everybody hooked?
I think it touches on things that are always important in wrestling.
Okay.
And, even in life.
Like what?
Like wanting to be the best.
Right.
Which both Naomi and Jade are doing. But also, like, redemption.
Oh.
Coming back from tough times and proving people wrong.
They both want to be at the top.
Right.
But they're coming at it from different places.
Yeah, you got Naomi. She's been around a while.
Yeah.
She's had to fight to get back. And Jade, she's new.
Right.
She wants to show she belongs.
Yeah.
And the way their stories come together, it's like really exciting.
Right.
You're rooting for both of them.
Yeah.
Even though they're trying to beat each other.
It's like they're both good guys and bad guys at the same time.
Right. And that's what makes it interesting.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen.
And don't forget the surprise.
Yeah.
Nobody thought Naomi would do that.
Right.
To, like, become this darker person.
It's like they threw the script out the window, and we're all just waiting to see what happens next.
Exactly. They've taken those classic wrestling things.
Right.
The hero coming back, the unbeatable champion, the old versus the new.
Yeah.
And they've made it fresh, modern.
That's why this could be really special.
Yeah.
It's not just doing the same old thing.
Right.
It's something new, something we didn't see coming, something that could change what it means to be a wrestling legend.
And that's what we should be watching for.
Okay.
As this keeps going.
Yeah.
Those moments
Yeah.
that change everything, that make us think differently about who these wrestlers are.
Yeah.
And what they can do.
Makes you realize wrestling, there's a lot more to it than people think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just, athleticism and moves.
No.
It's telling a story. It's building characters and exploring these big ideas like ambition and rivalry and even like right and wrong, you know? Yeah. And we've just scratched the surface here.
Right.
You really should check out that YouTube video.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say he's pretty into it.
Okay.
But you can tell he's passionate, you know?
I get that.
That's what I live about wrestling.
Yeah.
It creates these, like, communities where people can talk and argue and really get into it.
Totally.
And this whole Naomi and Jade thing,
Yeah.
it's just given everyone so much to talk about.
For sure.
I've been watching wrestling forever,
Uh-huh.
and I can't remember the last time a rivalry got me this hooked.
Wow. That's saying something.
It's the perfect mix
Yeah.
of, like, not knowing what's going to happen next.
Right.
High stakes and these characters that feel real.
That's awesome.
And it feels like this is just the beginning.
It does, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This could be one of those moments
Yeah.
that people talk about for years.
You think so?
It could change both their careers
Right.
and maybe even all of women's wrestling.
That's a big deal.
So as things keep going, what should we be paying attention to?
That's a good question.
What are the signs that this is really going to be legendary?
I'd say watch how each of them deals with what happened.
Okay.
Does Jade use this injury, this loss,
Yeah.
to make her come back stronger,
Right.
more determined to be on top again?
Yeah.
Or does it, like, break her a little?
Yeah.
You know, show that she's not invincible?
What about Naomi?
Yeah, good question.
Does she keep going with this aggression, this willingness to, like, break the rules? Does she become a straight-up villain?
Right.
Or is there a chance she can redeem herself?
I don't know.
And don't forget about the rest of the division.
Right.
Do other wrestlers get pulled into this?
Yeah, do people have to choose sides?
This could change everything.
It really could, yeah.
It's like a chess game.
Oh, I like that.
Every move changes the whole board.
And we get to watch it all happen.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Wrestling is something else, isn't it?
It's not just about the athleticism, it's the stories.
Absolutely.
And a little bit of drama, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And when you have a rivalry like this,
Yeah.
one that keeps you guessing,
Right.
it's really special.
It is.
Okay, so to wrap things up, what's your final takeaway?
Ooh. Okay, let me think.
What should our listeners be thinking about as this all plays out?
I think look past just the action.
Okay.
Really pay attention to the details.
Okay.
Why are these characters doing what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
How are they changing?
Yeah.
How does this story connect to those bigger ideas?
Right.
Ambition, redemption, the fight for power.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It reminds you that wrestling,
Yeah.
it's about more than just winning or losing.
Right.
It's about telling stories that people connect with.
Yeah.
Stories that make you think, make you feel,
Absolutely.
and maybe even question things.
I love that.
And with Naomi and Jade,
Yeah.
we're in for a wild ride.
Oh, for sure.
So everyone listening,
Yeah.
keep watching.
Keep those theories coming.
Let's see what happens next.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be epic.
Maybe we'll be back in a few months
Yeah,
to talk about it all again.
that sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool.
Until then, stay curious.
Stay passionate.
And thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
See ya.